Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode of Total Quality Management and also welcome to my channel Professional Tutor for Engineers. If you are new to this channel, please go through my earlier videos so that you can get a clear understanding of today's session. So in today's class, we are going to discuss unit number 1, introduction, lecture number 8. So in Unit 1, Introduction, lecture number 8 is TQM framework, barriers to TQM and benefits of TQM. So these are the last few topics of Unit 1, and with this today's class we are going to complete Unit number 1, Introduction. So today's discussion, so in today's class what are the things we are going to discuss? So in today's class we will be discussing about TQM framework, barriers to TQM and benefits of TQM. So these are the topics we are going to cover in today's session. So first we will discuss about TQM framework. So what do you mean by framework? So framework is nothing but you can tell what are the you can tell the elements of TQM. So how this total quality management is framed or elements of TQM you can tell. So generally if you see there are two groups which form the TQM framework. So that is first one is TQM principles and practices and second one is TQM tools and techniques. So these are the elements of TQM framework. So now we will discuss one by one in detail. So first we will discuss about TQM principles and practices. You can see in this picture, so what are the TQM principles and practices that are followed? So you can see in that circle. So first one is customer focus, leadership, people involvement, process approach, continuous improvement, data driven decisions. And additionally you have quality circle, training and education, communication, teamwork and supplier partnering. So these are all the different TQM principles and practices that are followed. And additionally the second part will be TQM tools and techniques. So that is given in the below. So those things also we will discuss in detail. So as we discussed, so TQM principles and practice, in that first one is customer focus. So what do you mean by customer focus? So already in my previous session I said, so the ultimate aim of implementing this TQM is to satisfy the customer. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to know the requirements of customer. So what customer is expecting in our product. So always we should focus towards customer. So what is the expectation of customer? So based upon that only we need to develop our product. Okay, and second one is leadership. So what do you mean by leadership? So leadership is nothing but here you can see, so the leaders, they need to first get trained and they need to help their subordinates in achieving quality. Okay, so they need to lead from the front and guide their subordinates. And third one is people involvement. So what do you mean by people involvement? So people involvement is nothing but the employees working in the company. So each and every employee has to involve in this TQM process. So as we discussed in previous classes, so total quality management, so total is nothing but the entire employees working in the company has to get involved. So without people involvement, you cannot make this TQM a successful one. Okay, so people involvement is very important. And similarly, the fourth one is process approach. So what do you mean by process approach? So process approach is nothing but, so all the process for example, if you are manufacturing a product, so there are different processes. So all the process has to be analyzed, and we need to see where the quality can be improved. And the fifth one is continuous improvement. So what do you mean by continuous improvement? So continuous improvement is nothing but year on year, so the improvement has to be gradually increased. So we should not stop with a particular quality. So if there is no continuous improvement, that means there is no quality, so quality has come to an end. So always there should be continuous improvement in the process. And the sixth one is data driven decisions. So data driven decisions is nothing but, so we should take decisions. If we want to improve the quality of a particular feature in a product, so what you should do, first we need to have data. So based upon the data and facts only we can analyze. Okay, so that is called as data driven decisions. So data driven decisions is nothing but based upon the facts and data only. If those things are available only, we can know how to improve a particular process in a product, and as well as improve the quality. And these are all few TQM principles. And apart from that, we have quality circle. So what do you mean by quality circle? So quality circle is nothing but building a strong quality oriented culture. So quality culture. So quality culture is nothing but you should build a good quality culture. So everybody should involve in the quality culture. So quality, it should become a regular process. So that is called as quality culture. And next one is training and education. So training and education is nothing but all the employees should be trained and educated related to quality. They should know how to use the quality TQM tools and how to improve the quality. So training and education has to be given frequently to improve the skills of the employees. And next one is communication. So communication is nothing but we need to ensure that effective communication is the information is passed in between all employees. So whatever the quality policy or whatever the steps that are taken related to quality, so that has to be communicated through all levels, and all employees should be aware of that. And next one is teamwork. So teamwork is nothing but we should work in a team. So as we said, total quality management is nothing but total is the involvement of all people. So if all people are getting involved only, you can improve the quality of the product, or you can implement TQM. So teamwork plays a very vital role here. So work together across functions and levels. So each and every people has to combine and work, so that only you can improve the quality process. For example, from different experts from different departments like quality, or like sales department, design department. So different people from different departments, so they need to work as a team. So then only you can improve the quality of the product. And next one is supplier partnerships. So supplier partnership is nothing but, so already I discussed about partnership, supplier partnership. So supplier is nothing but a person who is supplying the main components, or you can tell like a vendor. Okay, a vendor. So a person who regularly supplies. So what you need to do is you should consider this supplier as a partner. Okay, so you should have a strong relationship with the suppliers, so that they will also supply good quality of components to us. Okay, so these are all the different principles of TQM. Okay, so the first part is nothing but TQM principles and practices. So next we will discuss about tools. So what are the tools available? So TQM tools and techniques. Okay, so TQM tools, so there are different types of tools. So first one is 7 tools of quality are available. And additionally, the second part is new 7 management tools. Okay, there are two types of tools available: 7 tools of quality and new 7 management tools. So in this picture you can see few tools that are shown. Okay, so I will explain you in detail. So 7 tools of quality. So what are the 7 tools of quality is nothing but, so first one is flow chart, check sheet, histogram, Pareto diagram, cause and effect diagram, scatter diagram, and control chart. So these are all the 7 tools of quality. So these are all the tools that are being used to measure the quality of the product. Okay, so additionally, apart from this traditional 7 quality of tools, there are additionally we have new 7 management tools. So what are those things? So the new 7 management tools are affinity diagram, relationship diagram, tree diagram, matrix diagram, and matrix data analysis diagram, decision tree or PDPC, and arrow diagram. So totally you have 7 old traditional tools and 7 new management tools. Okay, so in our picture you can see few of those key TQM tools and techniques. So few tools are mentioned here. You can see here PDCA cycle, flow chart, Pareto chart, cause and effect diagram, check sheet, control chart, and histogram and scatter diagram. So here in general they have given some key tools, okay, TQM tools that are being used. Okay, so generally we have old management tools as well as new 7 management tools. So these things will be covered in the upcoming chapters. So in the chapter number 2, 3, 4, these tools will be covered in detail. So is it clear? So I hope you got some clear picture of this. So TQM framework is nothing but, so TQM framework is made up of two elements, that is TQM principles and practices and TQM tools and techniques. Okay, so under TQM principles and practice only we have customer focus, leadership, people involvement, process approach, continuous improvement, data driven decisions, and training and education, quality culture. So all these things we were discussing. So when you're coming to the tools and techniques, so we have two types of tools, as I said, that is 7 traditional quality tools as well as new 7 management tools. So out of those whatever I discussed, so here in our picture it is few tools which are regularly used or highlighted here. Okay, so this is about TQM framework. So next we will discuss barriers in implementing TQM. So next we will discuss about barriers in implementing TQM. So barriers, what do you mean by barriers? So barriers is nothing but problems or obstacles that will occur during implementing TQM. So TQM is a implementing TQM is not so easy. So when a company is planning to implement TQM, so several problems will occur. So that is called as barriers in implementing TQM. So now we will discuss those barriers in detail. Okay, so first one is lack of management commitment, and second one is inability to change organization culture, and third one is improper planning, and fourth one is lack of continuous training and education, and fifth one is incompatible organizational structure and isolated individuals and departments. So now we will discuss one by one in detail. So first one is lack of management commitment. So what do you mean by lack of management commitment? So management commitment, so as we discussed earlier, so without the involvement of management, no TQM program can be implemented. So without the support of management, you cannot implement the TQM. Okay, so then the management involvement is compulsorily required. So they should involve in quality programs and they should take steps to improve the quality of the product. So that is called as lack of management commitment. So if management is not involved, if they are not showing interest in implementing, in supporting or involving in the quality process, so then definitely implementing TQM will be a difficult process. Okay, so this is called as lack of management commitment. And second one is inability to change organization culture. So what do you mean by inability to change organization culture? So different management, they will be having different ways in running the company or industry. Okay, so inability to change organization culture is every organization will have its own way of doing things. They may follow different style, okay, but that will not be suitable for implementing TQM. So this organization culture that has to be reviewed, and they need to do readjustment, okay, according to the economic, social and technological realities. Okay, so then only you can implement this TQM successfully. So if the organization, if the management is running in their own way, so it will be very difficult to implement this TQM. So then the management has to change. Okay, so based upon the social, economic condition, technological development, so according to that, if the management is changing, only you can successfully implement. So otherwise it will be a problem to implement TQM. So this is called as inability to change organization culture. If the management is not able to change, they are following their procedure as they like, so definitely it will be a problem to implement TQM. And third one is improper planning. So what do you mean by improper planning? The absence of planning or strategy has often contributed to ineffective quality improvement. So without planning, you cannot improve the quality of the product. So all the functions and departments of the organization should involve in planning. So various departments like production, quality, design, sales. So all departments, they need to involve and implement this TQM. Okay, so this is called as improper planning. So without planning, you cannot implement TQM. So if there is no proper planning, so the TQM will be a failure process. So this is called as improper planning. And the fourth one is lack of continuous training and education. So what do you mean by lack of continuous training and education? So as we discussed earlier, so all the employees working in the company has to be educated. They need to be educated and provide training related to quality, how to use quality tools. So all those things they need to get training. Okay. So the TQM should provide training which will include technical expertise, communication skills, small team management. So how to manage the team, problem solving tools and customer relations. So related to this, the employee should be training. Okay, so thus training and education, it should be an ongoing process for everyone in the organization. So training should be, it should be an ongoing process so that they can upgrade their skills and they can contribute to the quality of the product. And the fifth one is incompatible organizational structure and isolated individuals and departments. So what this point mean to say? So there is a need for coordination between departments and individuals, as it is a internal barrier. Okay. So normally generally you can see the coordination between departments and individuals will be lagging in few companies. Okay, so this has to be eliminated. The only way to avoid this conflicts are restructuring. You have to restructure through proper segment. So you need to restructure the organization, okay, and each and every departments, they need to coordinate and work with each other. So then only this TQM can be successfully implemented. So incompatible organization structure and isolated individuals and departments means there is no coordination between the departments as well as individual. So if there is no coordination, so definitely it will be a problem in implementing TQM. So this has to be eliminated and all the department as well as individuals has to be coordinated and they should work together to improve the quality of the product. And the sixth one is ineffective measurement techniques and lack of access to data and results. So what do you mean by ineffective measurement techniques and lack of access to data and results? So as we all know, data plays an important role in management decision. Okay, to make a decision, we all know that data is very important. So for proper decision and effective decision making, the organization should employ effective data collection analysis methods. Okay, so they should use a proper data collection techniques. And additionally, to improve various process of the organization, okay, the process has to be measured. Okay, for example, an operator is performing a particular operation in some 3 minutes, so you need to measure that how much time it will be taking. So like that, different process has to be measured, and also access to data and quick retrieval is necessary for effective process, and also the data should be able to easily accessible. So if all these things are available only, so TQM can be successfully implemented. So otherwise it will be very difficult. So ineffective measurement techniques and lack of access to data and results. If you are not able to measure the process, or if you are not able to get the access the data, then it is going to be a problem in implementing TQM. Okay, and the seventh one is paying inadequate attention to internal and external customer. So paying inadequate attention to internal and external customer. In my previous lectures also I said who is an internal customer and who is an external customer. So external customer is nothing but a person who is buying our product and using outside the company, for example in a society. And who is an internal customer? So internal customer is nothing but within the department. For example, a component is manufactured in the production department, and if it is passed to the quality department, then quality department is an internal customer to the production department. So these things already I have discussed in my previous lectures. So here what they mean to say is paying inadequate attention to internal and external customers. So if you are not paying proper attention to the customers, so again it will be a problem in implementing in TQM. So for effective TQM implementation, the organization should understand the changing needs and expectation of the customers. So they need to know what customer is expecting in our product. And similarly, effective feedback mechanisms also should be available to convert both internal and external customers into required into useful feedback and to take action on that. Okay, so if these are available only, we can successfully implement TQM. So otherwise it will be very difficult in implementing TQM. So paying inadequate attention to internal and external customer means if you are not concentrating on the customers, what is their need or what is their expectation in the product, so definitely you cannot implement TQM. And the next one is inadequate use of empowerment and teamwork. So what do you mean by inadequate use of empowerment and teamwork? So team members, the people who are working, should be trained enough in problem solving, monitoring and resolving the problems. Okay, so the rules has to be established around the issues of leadership, membership and processes. Individuals should be empowered, so individuals should be trained and they should be empowered to make decisions that affect the efficiency of their process or the satisfaction of their customer also, you can tell. Okay, so the individual should be able to make decision. Okay, for example, they are working on a particular process, they should be able to decide how to improve the process. Okay, so if you are not using the if the teamwork, if you are not using the individual skills as well as the teamwork, again it will be difficult in implementing TQM. So that is called as inadequate use of empowerment and teamwork. So if you are not able to use the skills of this teamwork and the empower and the individual employee, then it will be difficult in implementing this TQM process. And the last one is failure to continuously improve. So what do you mean by failure to continuously improve? So as we discussed in earlier, so as I said, TQM is a continuous process. Okay, it should not stop. So TQM, the quality has to be keep on increasing. Okay, it is a never ending process. Okay, so a lack of continuous improvement of the process or product or the service, okay, will be thrown out of the market. For example, if there is no continuous product improvement in a particular product, then definitely that product cannot sustain in the market. Yes or no? For example, you are manufacturing a car. Okay, so you are manufactured with a car with some particular features. So after some 6 months or 1 year, when you're launching a new product or new car, so there should be some continuous improvement. Okay, additional features had to be additional features had to be added in that vehicle. So otherwise the customer will not opt for the product. So if you want to sustain in the market, so continuous improvement in the product has to be done. Okay, so then there is a necessary to explore the problems. So what are the problems, what are the customer problems, what they are expecting? So based upon that, we need to improve the process. So this is called as failure to continuously improve. So if a company is not able to continuously improve the process, then then it will be a problem to implement this TQM. So is it clear? So these are all the barriers of TQM. So barriers is nothing but problems that will occur during implementation of TQM. So I hope you got a clear picture of this. And next one is benefits of TQM. So what are the benefits of TQM? So if you are implementing a TQM in a company, so what are the benefits can be achieved? So first one is improved quality, second one is employee participation, third one is teamwork, fourth one is working relationships, fifth one is customer satisfaction, sixth one is employee satisfaction, seventh one is productivity, eighth one is communication, and ninth one is profitability, and tenth one is market share. So these are all the benefits that can be obtained if you are implementing TQM. So the first one is improved quality. The quality of the product can be improved. Employee participation. The participation of employee will be more. So as we said, total quality management is nothing but involvement of all the employees. So definitely the participation of employees rate will be higher. And teamwork, so again it will everybody are going to coordinate with each other and work. So a good teamwork culture will be formed formed when you are implementing TQM. And working relationships, so as well as the relationships also will grow, and it will become strong because you are working with different people, through cross departments. So the relationships will be healthy, and customer also will be satisfied. So when you're giving good quality product, so customer will be satisfied, and simultaneously the employee also will get satisfied, and productivity can be increased, and communication between the employees will be good, and the profitability also will be increased, because we are going to eliminate here in TKM. The main purpose of TKM is to satisfy customer and eliminate unwanted costs that are occurring. Okay, so when automatically the unwanted costs or defects are reduced, so profit of the company can be increased. And finally, market share. So the company can capture the market share if their if the quality of the product is improved. Definitely in the market they can get a good place. Okay, so these are all the benefits of TQM when it is being implemented in a company. So that's all for today's session. So I hope you got a clear picture of this, clear idea and understanding of these topics. So with this unit 1 is completed. Okay, with this unit 1 is completed, just we will summarize. So today's class I will summarize what and all the things we have covered. So first thing, we were covering about TQM framework. So what do you mean by TQM framework? So TQM framework is nothing but how this TQM is built. So or you can tell elements of TQM, elements of total quality management. So there are two there are two total there are two two elements of TQM. The first one is principles of TQM, and second one is TQM tools. Okay, so we discussed in detail about those things. And next one, we were discussing about barriers in TQM. So barriers in TQM is nothing but what are the problems that will occur when we are implementing TQM. And third one is benefits of TQM. So if you are implementing TQM, what are the benefits that you will get? So these are the things we have covered. So if you are having any doubts, anything else, you can post in the comment section, so I will reply to you. So I hope you understood this session. I hope this video will be useful. So if you like this video, you can please subscribe and share to your friends. So more videos related to TQM will be coming in the upcoming days. So thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day. Thank you.